Welcome to another episode of Can You Reach That?
Can you reach that?
How you doing today?
I'm good. I had a thought the other day as I was eating healthy at KFC.
Eating healthy at KFC?
Sentence doesn't make very much sense.
Oxymoron at its highest level.
Back in the day, Chicken Littles. Do you remember those?
I used to love me some Chicken Littles.
I would kill Chicken Littles.
Chicken
The
Littles.
little
square chicken
joints.
sandwich.
Dog,
Those were the original sliders.
Yeah.
there.
You remember when they dropped it? Weren't they like 29 cents or something like that? Or
They weren't a lot.
They were
39 cents.
They were cheap, but I remember I'd roll up to school and get 10 of them mugs, 15 of them mugs, and just
Go to town.
Chicken Little Fiesta.
Yeah.
But Chicken Littles now, although they've supposedly come back, they're just a chicken tender on a bun.
It's not the same.
It don't hit the same.
It's never the same. It's never the same when they try to
What
redo
is
it.
that? Why do they even call it a Chicken Little? That's not a Chicken Little. I know what a chicken. I experienced Chicken Little.
This is the new Chicken Little.
That's not.
It's the revamp, like the Running Man. It's not the same.
Nah, they got the Running Man. That whole Running Man challenge was bullshit.
Yeah.
But Chicken Littles they need to bring OG Chicken Littles back. They need to bring those KFC. Bring OG Chicken Littles back. Trust me, there's a whole audience that wants those.
We would appreciate it. I ain't been to KFC in a minute.
I don't go often. It just happened to be where I was at, and I was hungry. But I looked at the menu, and they have Chicken Littles, and I first went, oh.
Did you get it or
no? Because it has a picture.
Oh
so
yeah.
when I looked, I was like, that looks like a nugget, like their chicken tenders that they have, the strips.
Yeah.
It looked like that on a roll. And so I asked, I was like, hey, is that picture the Chicken Little, or is it? And they were like, no, that's the. I was like, that's not a Chicken Little. And he was like, he laughed. Dude laughed
because he knew.
They know that's not a
He
Chicken
knew
Little.
what's up.
That ain't no Chicken Little. So
That's their way of trying to sell more chicken strips.
Right? Like, we got these. Those are the ones from yesterday.
Right.
You order chicken strips, you get the fresh ones. You order Chicken Little, you get them old ones that been
Get the
sitting
day
right
old
there.
strips.
So those
You're
are
not
Chicken
fooling
Littles,
anybody, KFC.
But Chicken Littles, though, I used to murder those back in the day, man. I'm just hoping that if they ever bring those back, it's not one of those things where when you try it again, you realize, these weren't that good.
And even at that, they're probably going to be like $5 a pop.
I know, right? They're gonna be like, oh, they're 2 for $3 or something,
Right.
like $1.50 for the little tiny thing.
Yeah.
So, but
It's
yeah,
crazy.
I used to murk those, man. I love them.
You remember the commercial?
Chicken Littles,
Chicken Little. It had that little ski bop.
right?
Bop, bop.
Chicken Littles were dope.
Chicken Littles were the shit.
I miss them. Come on, KFC, bring me some Chicken Littles, like some real Chicken Littles.
We want that old thing back.
I know that's right.
Yeah.
Can you reach that? You see that? Let's talk about it. Be that. Believe that. Let the people know that you see that and what they want to know. Can you reach that? Can you reach that?
And now your host, Tango and Coop.
Can you reach that?
Can you reach that?
Can you reach? Are you a original or extra crispy?
Oh, you gotta get the extra crispy. Got to.
Extra crispy.
If it ain't extra crispy, it's not even. Is it really KFC?
Is it really KFC if it's not extra crispy?
So yeah, no, it's KFC. I don't go there often though, but when I saw that, it reminded me of Chicken Littles, and I was just like, man, I used to love Chicken Littles.
Yeah. Chicken Littles and coleslaw. Those are my two favorite.
The coleslaw, the KFC coleslaw, it does have its own distinct.
Yeah. I don't know what it was. I don't know if they put extra sugar in the coleslaw juices.
The coleslaw milk.
Yeah.
People
Slurp it up like it's like when you're done eating the cereal.
drink it.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why we grew so big.
Possibly.
We were drinking that coleslaw milk.
Yeah. It's a lot of
I'm surprised they don't try to package that up and sell KFC coleslaw milk in cartons.
man. That might
They got everything else: almond milk, cashew milk, oat milk, rice milk. They might as well do some
you might be on
coleslaw milk.
You got a customer right here.
Right? Like,
Put it in with my frosted
I
flakes.
can't wait to have some frosted flakes, some coleslaw milk,
Coleslaw milk? Man, what a combo.
and it has to be KFC coleslaw milk.
Right.
It
Can't be any. You can't do the generic.
Oh, that's terrible. That sounds like my stomach is hurting. Listening.
Nobody else's coleslaw is like KFC. Because of KFC, I like coleslaw.
Somehow I feel like eating any type of cereal and KFC coleslaw milk is just going to give you the runs. Something's going to happen.
Yeah, maybe. I'm sure.
But if you want it, if there's a man for it, I'm sure KFC will figure out a way to bottle it.
Give it to Mikey. He'll eat anything.
Right? He likes it. He likes it.
Yeah, man. Whatever happened to Mikey?
He died
Probably
from
got
too much life cereal.
diabetes.
He went from life to death cereal.
Oh man,
Mikey liked it too much.
Mikey liked everything.
That was probably his demise.
Mikey got an ulcer. Got irritable bowel syndrome now.
Mikey became Wilford Brinkley. You just didn't know. No, was it Wilford? What's his name? The diabetes guy. I got the diabetes.
That's funny.
That's not funny. Man.
That's not, but it is.
But yeah, Mikey might have been that guy.
It's funny as long as you don't lose your foot.
Indeed. So there's been a slew of new Marvel films. The timeline's growing. The multiverse is open.
Yeah, man. Gift and a curse.
It is, right? But and as much as I'm a little overwhelmed with some Marvel movies, I still haven't gotten to see Captain America. I do want to see it.
I haven't seen it
I'm planning to go this weekend, hopefully.
I'm a little disappointed in myself that I haven't seen it yet.
I didn't want to go with the crowds. I don't like going with the crowds. I like having my room. I can spread outside. There's not a lot of leg room in them theaters, so I like to spread out sideways. And even though I'm sitting in one chair, my legs is 2 chairs over on the ground.
Ones, yeah.
So I'll check it out probably this weekend. But I have been excited to check that one out and see which direction that takes and all that. But have you seen some of the other trailers coming up? There's the Thunderbolts.
I saw that one.
I think it's cool that they're starting to grab some of the lesser known. I mean, there's going to be Red Guardian, Ghost, and Taskmaster in that one, along with Winter Soldier, obviously.
Right. It's like the B squad of superheroes.
And I like that there's the humor, right? They're like, we're going to call ourselves the Thunderbolts, and then the title of the movie is Thunderbolts, but it has an asterisk. I think that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Trailer looks pretty good, and like I said, I like the fact that it's kind of like the lesser known characters at this point, because it's, for me, it comes off a little bit refreshing because you're so tuned to Iron Man, Spider-Man, Thor. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You've had so much of that all this time that with the multiverse open, maybe you're going to get variants and all that good stuff, which is fine. But seeing some of these other characters kind of be brought forward, I think it's kind of cool.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think Thunderbolts is one that I'm kind of curious to see how that goes. The trailer looked fine. I think it looks interesting.
Yeah.
And another one obviously is Fantastic Four.
That's another one.
I mean, obviously we've had Fantastic Four films, right? They did the first 2, then they rebooted, but now they're actually in the MCU. So
now it's like another reboot. Yeah.
Right? So
they rebooted Fantastic Four as many times as they did the Incredible Hulk.
Right? Which is, we'll get to that one. But the future retro vibe of the Fantastic Four trailer,
yeah,
I kind of dig it. I think that's kind of cool. So
it's like their origin story.
I'm slightly, It was like the first one that they did under Sony, right?
Yeah.
It was like the start of it, how they got it,
how they got their powers and everything. Yeah.
So I'm kind of excited to see how they do it. I think Thing himself looks better in this one. Obviously, technology, CGI is different, but
right,
just the shape and the style of him, it looks better. So I'm curious on that one, but at the same time, I think I'm more leaning towards Thunderbolts just because it looks more different.
Yeah.
But like you said, Hulk has had a couple of movies, and then obviously he's been MCU now with the Avengers and things like that. I think he's due for, a standalone. Obviously, I'm sure the standalone would have cameos like all the films do. There's crossovers.
Right.
But I think there needs to be one centered more around Hulk at this point. And if it not necessarily fully centered, it should be co-centered. And with that said, I would love to see them go in the direction of a Hulk versus Wolverine.
Oh, like a whole new.
And maybe they are planning to do that.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just out the loop that far, but
because I was gonna ask, like, what part of Hulk's timeline would you expect to see?
I'd like to see the Hulk versus Wolverine. Now that they're kind of, the Wolverine Deadpool.
Yeah.
And they're kind of
Just
MCU bound.
Wolverine versus everybody.
Right. Well, I want to see the comic books had the Wolverine versus Hulk.
Yeah.
That was a whole thing. So I would be curious to see them do that on the big screen. I think that would be pretty dope.
Be interesting to see if they did another Blade.
I think that's on the table.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think that's on the table. So
I haven't heard anything.
So that would
But I mean, and I say that wondering if they would try to keep Wesley Snipes' Blade, or if they would try to bring in a younger person to be the new Blade.
Well, I think what happened was they did do that for the future. They were going to have somebody else, and I think with the
like Blade
excitement,
Jr., he's got a long lost son somewhere that picks up.
No, I think it was just recast. But yeah, no, but I think with the whole Deadpool cameo and all that,
yeah,
I think they've kind of rethunked that. And I think that they are going to go with Wesley.
That'd be cool. Nah, because I can see it now. You know, Blade and Elektra.
Right.
Since they were hanging out in that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So
they had some
right
crazy offspring.
That there's gonna be a light skinned Blade.
Yeah, light skinned Blade.
So there you go.
Gambit will be the Godfather.
That would be funny. You know, I've been wanting Gambit to be, you know, even in the X-Men films that we had.
Shit, maybe a Gambit movie.
Yeah, and I said that when they started doing the X-Men movies, they did so many of them, right? But back when they were doing like X-Men 1, 2, 3, like the original trilogy,
yeah,
I was like, man, when are they going to bring Gambit into this? Like Gambit was one of my favorite X-Men.
Yeah.
So I was like, when are they going to bring Gambit? You know, and it just never came to fruition. And they did all those different X-Men movies.
Yeah.
And never came to fruition. And now you kind of got this little tease right here, which is cool. But you know, a Gambit movie would be dope.
A Gambit origin story, or just Rogue origin story,
or just let's get an MCU full on X-Men movie and include Gambit.
Yeah,
I mean, since they're bringing Wolverine in, you might as well bring the rest of the X-Men in and just let's do it. So, but going back to Blade, I was curious of your thoughts of the original trilogy. Were you a fan of the whole trilogy?
As a whole, yes, but with each one, it seemed to lose a little bit of something.
That was what I was getting at, because I love the first one.
Yeah.
The first Blade and the first Matrix, I think we spoke on this before, was my first 2 DVDs I ever bought.
Yeah.
So the first Blade to me was just so dope. The second one, it was all right. And the third one, I didn't really care about it. I mean, I saw it, but I mean, I was just like...
Yeah, I like the third. It goes in order. I would say the first one was the best one. Second one went down a little bit, and I feel like the third one was better than the second one.
I think the third one had a little bit more. There was a little bit more to it, more substance.
Yeah,
but I don't know if I have a favorite between 2 and 3. But 1 by far was just dope. I love the first one.
Yeah,
the first Blade was dope. Another. You know, we're talking about characters that maybe should get a movie. Do you have any, by the way? Do you have any characters that you would like to see either a standalone or see more of within?
Off the top of my head, I mean, pulling from the X-Men, like a rogue movie, I think would be good.
Like Origins?
Yeah, because I don't really, not to say that we don't know a lot about Rogue, but like you don't really see a lot about Rogue, not on her own, not as a primary character.
Right.
She's always secondary with somebody else. It's Rogue and Storm, or Rogue and Jean Grey, or Rogue and Gambit, but like a true Rogue story, I think would be dope to see.
Okay.
Because she's like, of all the X-Men, like she's one of the strongest ones, So her having her own story, I think would be a dope timeline experience.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Nightcrawler would be dope to see too.
Nightcrawler would be cool.
Yeah.
One that I want to see, and I think it would be far overdue, Spawn.
Man, how do you recreate Spawn though? Like I feel like Spawn is a classic. Like I don't know if a redo would do it justice.
So that's the first Spawn movie is dope, right? Is dope. But I think it's time we need a modern iteration of Spawn.
Yeah.
I think we need to reestablish Spawn by having a Spawn film and going from there. But I think Spawn is overdue for a movie.
That'd be dope. Yeah, it's been a minute, because we're talking early 2000s, late 90s.
I think so.
Yeah, it has been a minute since we've seen Spawn on the big screen.
And then I can throw a little bit of an obscure one, and I think there is some plans with this character. But so with Howard the Duck.
Howard the Duck as a Marvel?
As a movie, he's a Marvel character. He's a Marvel character. He's had cameos in some of the films already.
That is true. He has, and he's been in the What If series.
Yeah, he's a Marvel character. I mean, that's the original one didn't come off that way. The original Howard the Duck movie,
right?
But it is a Marvel.
So are you seeing a reboot, or are you seeing like a
fully reestablished it,
picking up from where they left off, or
like we need. I mean, because that was so long ago.
It really was.
And it was one of those movies where it's hit or miss with a lot of people.
Yeah.
And a lot of people would say it's only hit because it's kind of a cult
classic.
Kind of like one of those, like, it was kind of so bad that it's good.
Right.
And then you have people that just hate it.
Yeah.
But I think we're overdue for a full on Howard the Duck film.
Little bestiality never did anyone any.
But let's get Spawn out the way first. I think Spawn is an important one. I think we need to do a Spawn movie.
Hey, there's a collab right there. Spawn and Howard the Duck.
Spawn and Howard the Duck.
Yeah.
There you go. That would be the most bizarre
right.
superhero duo.
Yeah.
Are they versus or are they fighting crime together?
They'd have to be together. Howard be his little sidekick.
That's hilarious. I don't think that would happen. But
Spawn ends up on Howard's planet somehow, and yeah. I don't know.
Vampires and ducks?
Vampires in
space.
Wait,
I'm thinking, my bad.
You're thinking Blade.
My bad. But no, Spawn is...
Or shoot, Blade and Spawn.
Blade and Spawn the same film?
Blade and Spawn that's a lot of action right there.
Now, that's the other thing that, that it comes to is who do you cast? Or do you just go back and...
Well, again, if you're bringing in Wesley Snipes for Blade, you got to bring in Michael for
right. That's what I'm saying. Do you respawn him for it, or do you get somebody young?
He respawns, and I mean he's still in great shape,
of course.
Yeah, so I think it would be.
And would he want to? That's the other side. Would he want to?
Yeah.
Does he want to rehash that character and bring it out?
Because I mean, for the longest time, no matter what I've seen him in, like he's still Spawn to me.
I guess, yeah,
and he's been in a lot of stuff.
I guess it depends on if they were to do a Spawn film. What is the long-term goal?
Right.
Like, are they going to do like a Tony Stark type deal where he's going to be in quite a few of them? And knowing that, age is a factor, do you go younger because of that?
Right.
If you're talking about doing a Spawn movie and then maybe a cameo here and there, you might be good. So I guess it kind of breaks down to what the overall plan would be. But either way, man, I want to see a new Spawn film.
You knock out 3 back-to-back real quick. Pass it off to a younger Spawn from another multiverse.
Something.
Yeah.
And what about if they jumped into they're being that they are doing the multiverses, right? What if they jumped into some of the Marvel zombies and they did some maybe some venturing back into rated R and get some horror thriller type films, and they do almost like the What Ifs, but it's not really the What Ifs. It's just a zombie version.
Yeah, a live action.
The live action zombie version of zombie Marvel films. I mean, what if they jumped that route? You think that they would have an audience for that? Because you could kind of grab people who maybe don't necessarily like Marvel as much, but they love horror.
They're into zombies and stuff like that.
Yeah, and they might go, maybe I'll check this. You know what I mean?
There's potential there for it. I used to be heavy into zombies for a minute. So to do zombies and Marvel together, that'll be interesting to see. I mean, we've seen a couple zombie appearances already. Zombie Strange, Zombie Captain America.
Right.
So,
and I mean, and that later Doctor Strange movie kind of touched on that, with the multiverses and whatnot. So
yeah. So if there's just a whole zombie multiverse,
right?
Yeah, that'd be wild. Now, would they be like brain-eating zombies, or would they be like punching 9 to 5 regular working zombies? Like the day in the life of a zombie who hates his boss and can't stand his job.
Or would it be that somehow? I mean, it could be that like an Avengers film, right, where they're doing something, right? They're on some sort of a mission, quest, whatever.
Yeah.
They get stuck in a different universe that infects them, and people of that universe know the Avengers,
right?
But now these Avengers are there, and they're actually the ones killing civilians because they're zombies, right? So now you have the zombie ones that came to the universe who are infected, and you have the regular ones that are from that universe that have to defeat them.
Going against the zombies. Yeah. That'd be interesting.
I don't know. I'm not privy to the zombie timeline.
It's a wild concept.
So
I like that one.
But yeah, I mean, Marvel's, they've got so many films now, and they've got so many plans. There's always we're in phase 5, say phase 6, phase 8, phase 10. And they've got it all planned out. I mean, obviously, as we go, they shift stuff around. But, going back to talking about the Thunderbolts, I like that they're kind of reaching for other lesser known characters, bringing them into the forefront a little bit
Yeah.
with that, because now they can take those characters and run with them with a new generation of actors, with
Right.
new timelines, and it might become a little bit fresher as opposed to constantly seeing
The same.
the Fab Four.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get that. I mean, I feel like this MCU has been going on for so long. I've kind of lost my flair for it,
Right.
especially after Endgame. Like, I don't know, it just kind of
I feel like that was a great closer,
it really did.
You know?
It really buttoned everything up nicely.
but it didn't. It went to another universe.
Well, outside of that,
So are you? I know you were a fan of some of those movies, right? Obviously, were you a fan of like any of the TV shows, like the Winter Soldier?
Yeah, Winter Soldier, Black Falcon.
Yeah.
I know he's not the Black
The
Falcon.
Black Falcon?
But
Black Falcon,
it's just Falcon.
right?
That one was dope. The What If series. It took me a while to get into the What If series.
I like the What Ifs because it definitely, as long as you were familiar with all the happenings,
Yeah.
the What Ifs were kind of like, oh yeah, what if?
Like when it started, and then the Watcher whole thing, it's like, this dude's just a pervert, sitting there watching everybody the whole time, not doing nothing.
Right? He's a voyeur.
But as it went on, because I guess I was completely jaded by the multiverse. I'll give you that part right there. I was completely jaded by the multiverse.
Right.
Because once we got into the multiverse, then it's like everything that has happened doesn't matter anymore.
Right.
Like everybody who died in some alternate universe is
They're
not
back in
dead.
that one. Yeah.
Like they were able to bring Black Widow back, who gave up her life for the Soul Stone. So we shouldn't have a Black Widow, but now we have a Black Widow. So anything that has happened doesn't matter anymore because in Earth 763, that never went down that way. So it was just crazy. So then having that and then incorporating the animated What If part of it.
Right.
Oh, what if Black Panther was Star-Lord? It's like, would that ever really happen? So them telling the stories was cool, but
what if Black Panther was white?
man. White Conda forever.
That's Marvel getting rid of their DEI.
Right? No more Black Panther. They shut down all of Wakanda.
They got the Musk memo.
Yeah.
So yeah, like the what?
Yeah, so I mean the What
series
If
is dope.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked it, but
Yeah.
it took me a second to get into it.
Yeah, I agree. Like when I started watching season 1, the first couple episodes, I watched them and I did enjoy it, but I was like you did. I was questioning, and then I realized, well, I'm questioning what if, which is the question.
Right. But then once they started, like in the second half of it, and they started bringing them together, and you started seeing the crossovers,
Right.
then it was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, season 2
All
really
right.
helped a lot too.
All right.
Season 2 was dope.
Yeah. And then Ultron.
Did you
man.
like the Loki series?
Loki series was dope.
I love that series, and I like the
Loki series was so
WandaVision
dope.
series.
WandaVision was good. I wasn't a fan of She-Hulk.
She-Hulk was. I'm sorry. I trash.
I appreciated what they were trying to do.
I wanted it to work. I thought it'd be, hey, that could be cool. And having Hulk be in the series, I'm like, okay, cool. Maybe She-Hulk comes into the films, etc. Don't bring She-Hulk into the films. Like, I did not like, and it's nothing against her as an actress. It's just the writing on that show was. I just did it.
Nah, it was just the way they.
It was cheeky.
The way they made her out to be. I didn't appreciate it. You know? Like they made her an emotional wreck,
Right.
And it just didn't hit for me.
Right.
It just didn't. Like she's this big bad superhero who is more interested in her love life than anything else. It was just I couldn't wrap my mind around. I feel like they didn't do.
It was
I
like
feel like
it
they
was
did her
watching
dirty.
like watching a green Ally McBeal.
Basically, yeah. I feel like they did her dirty.
No, I didn't like that one. I think Loki was definitely. I think that one was really good, and I did like the Winter Soldier and Falcon a lot. I thought that was a really good series. I actually watched that series twice, just because it was just so well put together.
Yeah.
Did you see there is a series, Wonder Man?
I did see that. I saw the trailers for that one. Yeah.
Looks interesting. Again, pulling from the depths of the Marvel universe and bringing another character out.
Yeah.
Now, is that character going to establish itself in the films as well? Like, are there going to be any sort of a crossover there? Are we going to see any of the film characters brought into that series?
Right.
It'll be interesting to see. But the trailer looks interesting. It looks like it has a little bit of a comical vibe to a certain extent.
Yeah. I feel like that'll be another Luke Cage, Jessica Jones.
Luke Cage
kind
was
of thing.
good though. That series was really good.
Yeah.
So that was one that I did enjoy. Did you like Moon Knight?
Moon Knight was crazy because I couldn't keep up with what was going on. Like, because there was so much happening.
There was a lot. It was a lot. I know when I started watching it, the first like 3 episodes, I want to say, I was kind of like, I'm not sure where this is
Where it's going.
or
Yeah.
where we just came from.
Couldn't keep track of who was who.
But as it gone on from there, you started to kind of figure it out. And then I by the time I finished the series, I appreciated it.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Totally. I bought all the pops for it. I got me a Khonshu.
Got the glow in the dark?
I got the glow in the dark.
The blue one or the green one?
Nah, the green one.
Oh, see?
Yeah.
Get the blue one, man. There's the error one that's half and half.
Oh, I haven't seen that
Yeah,
one.
there's the error one. So, but
yeah, the same thing with that one. You know, like there was so much going on in the beginning. The first few episodes, it was hard to pick up what was going on. But once you started getting into it, I watched them a couple times too, and it's like, okay, now I can see. Yeah, it's.
Did you watch the Luke Cage? You said you liked it?
I started it. I never.
I actually liked it. I thought it was cool. I thought it could have been built out further. I wish it would have kind of gone a little longer.
I've heard nothing but good things about it, but I couldn't.
I wish it would have kept it going a little bit.
I think because I was heavy into I was heavy into one of my semesters at that time, so I didn't have the time to go back and finish it, and I just haven't gone back to finish it yet. But
Yeah.
now that I'm done with my degree,
Right.
I might have to. I have to go back and check that one out. Do some research.
It's a good series. I mean, I liked it. But yeah, this Wonder Man series, I think I think I'm gonna check it out. I mean, it looks interesting. You know, he's got powers, but he's also kind of on a set.
Yeah, trying to be like a normal dude or whatever.
Right,
It's like some Incredibles type.
Yeah.
I mean, not specifically, but just them having powers and
it has that.
but trying to live the normal life type of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but no, I thought it was an interesting trailer. I thought, you know, again, like I said, with Thunderbolts bringing out some of the more, you know, non-prominent characters.
Yeah.
And this also, because I'm not gonna even lie, I didn't. Wonder Man. I was like, what? Who is that? Like,
I thought it was a spoof. You know.
Yeah, I didn't know
because you have Wonder Woman.
Right. Yeah, they're trolling DC.
They're trying to. Here goes DEI again.
They're trolling DC. They're like, all right, DC, you guys got Wonder Woman.
We got Wonder Man.
What's up now? So no, but when I first saw it, same thing. I thought it was troll. Maybe it still is. maybe
they're trying to push their agenda.
So, but you know, hey, the premise looks dope. I mean, I hope it's a success. I'd like to see something a little different, and that's my thing with Marvel is because we've seen so much, and it's not that it's the same, but we've seen so much of the same character bunch.
Yeah.
So I want to see some of these new characters kind of come out and kind of establish, you know, themselves and their characters, and because you know when the MCU started, like a lot of people didn't even know who Iron Man was, and then the people who did knew that he wasn't. Oh, it's Iron Man. It was just kind of like
it's Iron Man.
You knew Spider-Man. You knew Hulk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You sort of knew Thor. You know, but Iron Man was like it was Iron Man. But when they established Iron Man became the main character.
Yeah.
I mean, Iron Man became more popular than Spider-Man at that time. At that point, you know what I mean?
Right.
Hulk
Yeah, he was definitely at the top. He was definitely top tier.
So I'd like to see some of that kind of happen with some of the lesser characters at this point. Like if they can establish this run with some of these characters, it'd be cool to see some of them be kind of like the more, oh wow, like you know, Taskmaster, Ghost.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
yeah.
So
only time will tell.
Time will tell. Time will tell.
Nah, Robert Downey Jr. did his thing with Iron Man. Like he really brought that character to life, you know? So, and I can't imagine anybody else playing Iron Man at this point after him having that role. Like, I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't see anybody else doing that.
He grabbed that character. All right, so he's supposed to be like this rich, you know, obviously, you know, just rich everything, right? Playboy, cocky, the Batman of the MCU, right?
Right.
But Batman was more dark vengeance.
Yeah.
This dude was more like, even though he was the Playboy, obviously, right? Batman was like, oh, he's this Playboy kind of rich guy, whatever, da da da. But he was also dark and vengeful. That was his bit. Yeah. Iron Man was cocky. he was still like a playboy, but he was cocky. But at the same time, he was pretty loyal to what he was loyal to, you know?
Right.
And I think Robert Downey was the way he played it was perfect as far as having that arrogance, having that power, having that overwhelming command of like, no, shut up, listen.
Yeah.
He knew how to pull that off, and the way he delivered his lines, the way he just
it's very believable.
became it. Like, it's hard now because when you see him in other movies,
is he still Tony Stark?
You still hear him as Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Because I remembered when the Sherlock Holmes films came out. So like,
which he was good in. He was great in those.
Oh, those movies were they were great. But like, I hear him. Remember when he would break down the fights?
Yeah,
I'm hearing him do that, and I'm like,
Tony Stark. Tony Stark, totally.
So, yeah, I mean,
is this where Jarvis comes in?
right. It's like, hey, you know, yeah, he's gonna round kick here. He's gonna do this. He's gonna do that.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
He broke it down. I mean, the way he broke those fights down, the way he'd break down finding the clues. Yeah. It was all very, like you said, it was very Jarvis like. It was very Iron Man like. I think that was kind of intentional to a certain extent, I guess, the way they did those films.
Yeah.
But no, he's a great actor. He's got plenty of films that he's just really good in.
And he played that role so well. Like Robert Downey Jr. almost is Tony Stark. Like I feel like it's hard to.
Oh, I'm sure
separate.
Kids, you know.
Like I feel like Robert Downey Jr. lives Tony Stark's life.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's not too far off.
Absolutely.
It's not like he had to step out of a huge role to play Tony Stark.
Right,
you know?
right.
Yeah.
No, and I feel like, and I'm sure, you know, he's probably even said this, but I'm sure kids are constantly like calling him Iron Man or Tony Stark or something, you know?
If I ever run into him, I'm gonna be like, Mr. Stark.
Right. I'm sure when adults do it, he cusses them out. but when
Tony!
kids do it, I feel like he's probably pretty humble to the kids doing it. But
yeah,
it's a trip because kids watch those films of all ages, even kids right now, they're like 5 years old. So those movies came out way before they were born.
Yeah.
They watch them and he just immediately becomes that character. So if they ever get the opportunity to see or meet him, they're not looking at it like Robert Downey Jr. You know, even a 10-year-old is not like it's right now. They're looking at
that's Tony Stark,
dude.
Yeah, that's like, Iron Man.
Selfie, Iron Man. So
yeah, totally.
Any other films you looking forward to or?
Looking forward to. I can't think of any. I did have a film I just recently watched though, with Keke Palmer and SZA.
Mm. Oh yeah.
One of Them Dayz.
Well, One of Them Dayz. I saw the trailer. I haven't seen it yet, but it looked hilarious. I mean,
it was great. It was funny. It was you know, the two female cast leaders. Honestly, watching it, it gave me Friday vibes. I felt like
I can see that. Like a comedy hood film.
Craig and Smokey, but you know, a female extrapolation of that type of scenario. You know, a day in the life of kind of thing.
After seeing I've seen the trailer. I haven't watched the film yet, but you're right. It does kind of, you know, because I saw the premise was them, you know, you had to pay the rent.
Yeah.
And going out and getting into whatever they get into, just like Smokey and Craig.
Right.
So yeah, absolutely. I could totally see that.
Yeah, it's a
that
good
makes
movie.
me want to see it more because
you should.
I do want to see it, but that makes me want to see it more.
It even had a couple twists and turns in there that you wouldn't expect to see.
Because I saw like, was it who was it? Lil Rel's in there, Cat Williams in there.
Yeah, it's a star-studded cast.
Yeah.
It's a star-studded cast. And you see him all throughout the movie.
That's dope. Yeah, I'm gonna check that one out. I'm definitely gonna watch it now. Yeah. The trailer already had me putting it on my list, but
yeah, Issa Rae did her thing with the writing and production on that one. Like it really was a well put together movie.
That's and I don't think it got the push.
2 thumbs up
that it may have done. Right? That's good. We're gonna be movie critics now. We got to come up with our own. I don't want to be too Siskel and Ebert with it.
Nah, we're Tango and Coop.
Tango and Coop gives it a can you reach that? Or
Tango and Coop go to the movies.
I think maybe we should do that. It's either you can reach that or you can't. You either can or you can't reach that.
Yeah.
That film reached it or it didn't reach it.
I gave it 2 reaches.
2 reaches? Bet. Tango Coop. Yeah, I'm gonna check it. No, I remember seeing the trailer. I believe I saw it on YouTube via like Facebook or something. social media essentially.
Right.
But I feel like that's one of those ones that just didn't get definitely didn't get the push maybe that it deserves. Because when I saw it, it does look hilarious. So it's added to my queue. But I feel like it may not be as pushed out there as it should be.
Yeah, I don't
it should
think
be more
I don't think there was a big mainstream push for it. I feel like that was more
deserves it probably. It's based on what you're telling me.
underground. I don't know if underground is the right word, but it definitely. I definitely don't think
Is it big screen or is it streaming?
it's streaming.
It's just streaming, right? Yeah. So
Yeah.
it didn't go. Big
I'm not even
screen
sure
first.
if it went big screen or not.
Okay.
I saw it streaming.
A lot of movies go straight to streaming, so and that's
Yeah.
that's not a bad thing at all. But hey, well there you go. You heard Coop, go see it. I'm gonna say go see it just based off the trailer because I'm definitely gonna watch it.
Watch it.
I think
If you get the chance, watch it. You won't be disappointed.
I think we created a new segment. We might have to start doing some reviews on some of these new flicks.
Yeah, I'm down.
So
Yeah, but dope movie. But I mean, honestly, I'm a fan of pretty much anything that Issa Rae does anyway, especially after watching Insecure. The way she put that together, like the storytelling, the visual aspects of it, her shot designs, the set designs, the character development, like all of it was top tier to me.
right.
So after seeing that, like anytime I see Issa Rae's name, my interest is automatically
Going
peaked.
right in.
Yeah,
That's what's up.
automatically peaked.
That's what's up.
Did you know one of our classmates was a writer on Insecure, Lakira Vance?
Oh, you know what? I did know that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I see on Facebook she's done some stuff.
Stumbled across that during one of the behind the scenes kind of things, and I was like,
For sure.
oh shit,
I know.
that's
Shout
Lakira.
out Lakira, man. I haven't seen her in a minute, man, but she's doing her thing.
Yeah.
She's doing her thing.
It's
That's
crazy.
dope.
It's
That's
crazy
dope.
how many alumni that we have that are in the business.
Entertainment.
The Dooleys, Dana Dooley.
Yeah.
She's had her clips that I've seen her in.
For sure.
RV Lowe.
Of course.
He's been around, man.
Yeah.
I can't remember the show he was on, but I seen him on the Disney Channel.
It's the one with the smart kid. What's his name? He was in the show with the.
You thinking a smart guy?
Is it a smart guy? He was a smart guy. Yeah.
Well, that was smart. That was an older sitcom when he was
a smart
when he was
guy.
younger. Yeah,
And he was on one of the Nickelodeon shows, right? With Michael.
I can't remember the show, but he was. I want to say his character's name was like Mr. Diggs. He was one of the teachers.
Oh yeah. That was later on too. Yeah. That was later on too.
So, but it's always dope.
Of course, he was in Newsies.
He was in Newsies,
So,
the original newspaper boy.
For sure.
Man. Shout out to Culver City produces a lot of. I mean, we had Big Boy too. Big Boy's one of the
Big boy
in the neighborhood. Yeah.
That's a Culver alum. There's a lot of people in it. I mean, it's an entertainment city. I mean, a lot of Hollywood, when they reference Hollywood, it's actually down in Culver City.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it's just that it's easier to say Hollywood because it's Hollywood, right?
Yeah.
But it's a lot of the studios, a lot of the stuff is in Culver City. It's always been Lomar was back in the day, MGM, obviously Sony,
right?
So Culver Pictures itself, so that it's
used to go onto the lots for the filmings.
I mean, we had our homecoming right there at Sony.
Yeah, I remember that.
Homecoming was at Sony Studios. So, but yeah, I mean, yeah, we've a lot of people. I mean, it's an industry. It's an entertainment industry town. So it's not surprising that a lot of us alum did some forms of entertainment.
Yourself included.
So I dabbled. I
know you've been
got my feet wet
in the background of a scene or two.
I've been paid for some stuff. So yeah, I mean, and you're talking about the Dooleys too, like Wayne,
Yeah.
man, just his art and creativity, man. I had him do some airbrush work. I mean, and I know a lot of people look at, they hear airbrush work and they think of like the t-shirts with the names.
Yeah.
Although he can do that. That dude could make some pretty realistic portraits.
Yeah.
And he did an amazing job for the work that I hired him for.
Yeah.
And I went back to him many a times. Him and he had his homeboy Caesar. I think he's still on Facebook as well, Caesar Art. But they were insane talents.
Yeah, super talented.
Super
talented.
Yeah, man. I mean, yeah, we had a talented school, and we've talked about the diversity in that school, man. But I appreciated that part about growing up in Culver City, that it wasn't, it was just a melting pot of people.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no, it definitely was.
All walks of life,
Yeah,
tons of talent. You know, it had its ups and downs,
it did.
but you
there
know
was moments,
what schools don't, right?
right? But we all survived.
Yeah, we here doing it. So
we made it.
Shout out to all the Culver heads doing it.
Whoop whoop.
We should have some. We should have some. Hey, if any of y'all want to come down and sit down and talk with us, let's get that happening, man. Because there's a lot of stories out there too to be told.
For real, nah, that'll be cool.
Sit down and have some round tables.
It's been a minute, you know. We used to have our little.
I remember the gatherings.
The every year.
They used to get wild.
They did.
We should share some of those pictures, Coop. I mean, what?
What pictures? What pictures?
Oh, there's pictures.
We got pics. We got videos. Yeah, them karaoke nights was wild.
Yeah.
Good times. R.I.P. Danny Callie.
Danny, yes, sir. Yes,
Man,
ma'am. She was talented too, singing.
She was. Had a great voice.
So
serenaded me a few times as I was out in Japan doing my thing, telling me to get my ass back home.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's good times, man. I miss
I think I have footage of you singing the Frozen theme song.
I wouldn't doubt it. That was one of my go-tos.
Yeah, I'm almost certain I can dig that up. Maybe we'll put up a clip.
Maybe not. Maybe not. You had to be there for that one.
But if you weren't, we have a clip.
Nah, that's premium content.
That's what clips are for. You got to subscribe.
You got to subscribe for that.
The premium channel to get Coop singing. Let it go.
If you want the embarrassing shit, you got to pay up for that one. We're not giving that away for free.
I'll just put together a
little montage
of all the Coop karaoke.
Yeah, some of those nights were wild, boy. Back when I was a avid heavy drinker.
You know, since we're gonna talk about a little bit of these events, do you remember? I don't exactly remember where we were when it started, but it ended at Denny's. And we took over that one Denny's, and there was about 30 of us. And I know we have a full video of that too.
I think we started at Boardwalk. It went from Boardwalk.
It was at Boardwalk?
Yeah.
Okay.
Boardwalk 11. Shout out Boardwalk 11.
For sure.
Great karaoke spot, great food, great service, friendly atmosphere.
Those were fun nights out there. I remember
Small parking lot, but
yeah, it was.
But the vibe was dope.
But yeah, I remember we went to that Denny's, and it was because it was late night and it was open, right? It was like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
And there was like 30 of us. They put all these tables in a row together. It looked like we just took over the entire dining room.
Yeah.
And that waiter, man, I don't remember his name. I know we said it on the video because I remember that video. We shot a lot of clips that night.
Yeah.
But I remember that dude had some patience because we was talking all kinds of madness.
Man, everybody was lit.
We were
having a good time.
We were obnoxious.
Everybody was having a good time.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
But that Denny's takeover, I should pull that video out the archive because that was crazy.
That had to be before 2015, right? We haven't done one. Or was that? I don't think that was after I got out.
I don't remember the year. I could probably find it, but I can't remember the year. But I just remember all of us just having an insanely good time.
I feel like that had to be 13 or 14.
Probably somewhere around there.
Yeah.
I'd say like 14, maybe even 15, but probably 14 in that range.
I don't think 15.
No?
I feel like 15 because I had retired in 15. So
okay, so it was when you were back, and I remember it was. I think if I'm not mistaken, it was holiday time.
Yeah, and I usually came home for Christmas.
Yeah, I think it was like November, December. So
between Christmas and New Year's is when I came back, and then everybody would link up. I try to make my little rounds and stuff. Throw a invite out on Facebook.
Hey, the footage that I have though, and I know I can probably dig it up. The footage I have of all those events over the years, but especially that Denny's joint. I think I have it posted on YouTube. I think that Denny's
probably
is on YouTube somewhere. But
probably
that Denny's one, man. I know that waiter was like, "Y'all better give me a good tip," because
the
shit that they had, man, he had to endure a night.
Yeah,
I feel like that dude went home when we left, and he went home and either told whoever he was living with or called up some friends, and they were like, "Y'all ain't gonna believe this," and he started telling all the stuff that went on, and his friends was like, "Shut up, dude!" Like,
yeah, we don't believe
lying.
that.
Like,
we don't believe that
because the more he went on, you just putting extras now. Like there's no way you believe in all that stuff.
Yeah.
So,
those are some fun times.
We need to put one together. We might have to do that, and we bring the cameras with us.
Yeah,
we have to put one together just to see what transpires.
We'll see. Maybe this year.
Hopefully, people don't shy up with the cameras.
With the cameras
on.
there. Who knows?
But I don't know. We might have.
I mean,
even so, we still got it. We still got to get one going. We still got to get one going.
yeah, that'll be fun. It'll be fun to throw another gathering. Yeah, just put it out there, see what happens.
Link up.
Yeah,
so we can all reach that.
We can.
I think we've reached that right now.
Yeah, seriously. Bet.
Can you reach that?
Can you reach that?
Can you reach that?
Can You Reach That? Brought to you by Double One Entertainment in Coopersville. Hosted by Tango and Coop. And created and edited by Tim Greenlee and Brandon Adolphus. Music, sound design, and editing by Michael B. That's me. Visual art and graphic design by Jonathan Greenlee. Additional visual design by Timothy Greenlee.